Justin is really kind and loving, and he's like Rain. So you imagine Rain's running a set. It's just, and if you meet Justin, how could you not love Justin?
I know.
It was manufactured on purpose in order to take Justin down.
It sucks. I'm sorry.
Excuse me. Are you sorry that your abuser is being falsely accused? Is that your final answer, ma'am? What was Blake thinking? I cannot believe what I just heard. And I'm wondering if you guys agree with me. I just heard all the highlights of the Claire Ayub recording that was released by the court today. And I am sitting here trying to understand, what were Blake Lively's lawyers thinking? Did they really think that this was going to help them? Because unless they heard a different tape, I don't know what's going on over there. Okay, I'm going to have to dub the sound because the sound came up really corrupted during this first part. So let's get into it. Let's do a little background. So, Claire Ayub is an indie movie director who wrote and directed the movie Empire Waste. I looked at the trailer and it looked like a cute little movie about female empowerment with a little bit of body positivity. It was cute. I wasn't mad at it. So Claire directed the movie and it was produced by Wayfair Studios, Justin Baldoni's company. Now, on September of this year, Miss Ayub filed a sworn statement in which she accused Justin of verbally abusing her. The statement partially reads as follows. I wrote and directed a film called Empire Waste, which was produced by Wayfair Studios LLC. Justin Baldoni, a founder of Wayfair, was a producer. As part of my work on Empire Waste, I had repeated negative interactions with Mr. Baldoni and his associates, including verbal abuse by Mr. Baldoni. I asked Wayfarer that Mr. Baldoni not be permitted on set during the majority of production as a result of those experiences. Empire Waste was set to be released in the fall of 2024. In August of that year, as a result of my experiences with Mr. Baldoni and ongoing press coverage related to Mr. Baldoni and It Ends With Us, I requested that he not be involved in the Empire Waste marketing or public relation efforts. Wayfair agreed to my request. Less than a week after reaching that agreement, I was contacted by the assistant to Steve Sorowitz, the co-founder and co-chairman of Wayfair, to schedule a time for me and Mr. Sorowitz to speak. Mr. Sorowitz's assistant did not identify a topic for the meeting. I feared that Mr. Sorowitz wanted to discuss my recent request relating to Mr. Baldoni. Worried that Mr. Sorowitz might pressure me to abandon the prior agreement that I had reached with Wayfair, I recorded our meeting. A true and correct copy of that recording, produced in Discovery as BL blah 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 blah, is being submitted with this declaration blah blah blah. So she recorded the conversation with Mr. Sorowitz without his consent. And the legality of this recording may be in question. But anyway, at some point, Ms. Ayub handed this recording to Blake Lively and her team. Now, if you remember, this recording was key in Blake Lively's case against Justin Baldoni from the very beginning, because when she sued Justin on December of 2024, she quoted a portion of this recording we are about to hear, where Mr. Sorowitz allegedly threatens Blake and Ryan by saying that he will defend his studio, his company, the same way Israel defended itself from Hamas. And in the same way Israel left thousands of dead bodies of Palestinians, when he's done, there will be 2 dead bodies, which is Blake and Ryan. Aside from the repugnant analogy he used, let's set our emotions and our politics aside and listen to the recording. Did he really say that? Blake said in her lawsuit that he did, and that she felt physically threatened. So we have been hearing this quote from the beginning of the case. And at the time, she did not disclose her source. We didn't know if it was an audio recording, a text message, an email. Was it hearsay? We didn't know anything until now. We finally have the audio. In addition to the sworn affidavit that came from this woman who came out of nowhere. We had never heard of her until this whole thing started. But now we finally know who she is. And she, again, remember, she said that she was abused by Justin Baldoni. And she provided the audio that, according to Blake, left her fearing for her life. After all, she's a mother. Remember when she said that? That she feared for her life and the safety of her family when she said that in her deposition? Yeah, it was because of this, what was in the recording. Interestingly enough, even though Blake presented this recording and the affidavit as some sort of a smoking gun or some kind of a gotcha moment, the judge and Team Baldoni insisted that the recording be released, as Blake and her lawyers were reluctant because they claimed that they wanted to protect their source. Well, the judge said, if you're going to quote from it, you got to release the whole thing. Stand on it. 10 toes down. So it is out. I'm going to play some excerpts from this audio. And when you listen to these excerpts, you will understand why I am confused about what would make Blake Lively and her team think that somehow this helps their case. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing I want to point out about this conversation between Miss Ayub and Mr. Sorowitz is that it is a friendly conversation. No one is threatening. There was no pressure. There was nothing of what Miss Ayub feared present in this conversation. The tone was friendly. There was nothing intimidating. And it is possible that Miss Ayub thought that it was going to go one way, and she was happily surprised that it didn't go that way. But now here is the part where things begin to go really bad for Blake and her team. In this conversation, Mr. Sorowitz hints at what Justin Baldoni and his co-defendants have been saying from day one. That there was tension on set, but that the tension all came from Blake Lively being difficult to work with. Mr. Sorowitz talks about the fact that Justin has worked on other sets and he has never had any problems until Blake Lively.
You were there. Was it bad?
No.
Oh, God.
Justin never has a bad set. Yes, it was the worst set he's ever been on, but no, it wasn't bad. I mean, we have another. I think I told you another first-time director we supported.
Yes. A woman named Scarlett Johansson. Yeah. I'm so excited for her.
She was so cool, calm, collected, and confident.
No,
and nice.
Which is what you want, and just professional, right? You want someone who's professional, who
I don't. It's so interesting because you work with so many people, and almost everybody's nice. And then there's Blake, who's she's totally different than everyone else.
I'm sorry.
It's like not to say anything bad about her, but
no.
She's different.
There you go.
And I don't. I think for the most part, most people see what we're doing, see we're nice, and they're nice back. Yeah. Even if they weren't perfectly nice. And I just think, some people forgot to learn how to be nice.
You see, he says he's never had any problems until this one. This has been the worst set he has ever worked on. And you would think that at this point, Miss Claire would say, well, actually, as you know, I had some issues with Justin on my set. I felt that he was disrespectful to me. I didn't feel safe with him being on set. And so that's the reason why, and I assume that this is why you wanted to talk to me today. That's the reason why I requested that Justin no longer show up on set. And I also requested that he wouldn't promote the movie with me. She didn't say that. She did not say that. In fact, when you listen to this next part, it's almost as if Steve doesn't think that she has even met Justin when he says the following.
And if you meet Justin, how could you not love Justin?
I know. But yeah, I'm just glad that I'm just sending all the good energy. I hope it stays safe.
Now remember, Claire said in her declaration, in her sworn declaration, under penalty of perjury, she said that the reason why she recorded this conversation is because she was afraid that Steve was going to say, I heard that you don't want to promote the movie with Justin, but I need you to do it anyway. That assumes that she assumed that Steve knew about the problems on set between her and Justin. But the fact that Mr. Sorowitz says, if you meet him, gives me the impression that according to Steve, he doesn't even think that she knows Justin. That's a contradiction to what she said. If she had met Justin, or at the very least, if this problem had happened on set, understand this. If there was such a problem on set that she felt so scared of Justin Baldoni, a producer, which, by the way, is very rare when you have the owner of the production company showing up on the set of a little indie movie. Justin had bigger fish to fry. He had other movies that he had been working on. He wasn't even directing this movie. He didn't play a part in the movie. He didn't write the script. Why would he be on her set? Okay, put a pin on that. But the fact that she didn't even push back when he said Justin has never had any problems before. He has never had any problem. This is the worst issue he's ever had with any set. And she doesn't even push back. That makes me wonder. Oh, but it gets worse. Listen to this part.
But no, it wasn't bad. I was there on set. It was, Justin is really kind and loving, and he's like Rain. So you imagine Rain's running a set. It's just, it's a Baha'i set. It's never going to be like that. No, it was just.
He says Justin is really sweet and loving, and she goes, yes. This is the man who abused you verbally. He abused you verbally, and you didn't internalize that experience. You didn't keep it to yourself, and you didn't like, oh, I have to keep this to myself because if I complain, I'm afraid that they will pull the rug on my project and I may not be able to make this come to life. She went and complained and said, don't let this man back into my set. And furthermore, I don't want to promote the movie with him. If this was broadly known among the Wayfarer crew and the owners and the investors, wouldn't it be weird for you to be agreeing with the man saying, this man is very sweet and very loving? Wouldn't that make you go, if I agree with this, I'm gonna look like a crazy person because I complained about him. So let me set the record straight, and let's be clear also, because you know that I try to look at both sides. It is very possible when you have a situation, when you're having a conversation with your boss, and your boss says something that you disagree with, and you don't want to ruffle the feathers. Remember, this man bankrolled her movie. He's the man with the purse. He wrote the checks. You may not want to overstep, and you don't want to step on his toes and disagree with him. You might just want to be like, you know what? Let me agree with him. That's one thing if your objection is not broadly known. But if you already said, I don't want this man in my set, I don't want to promote the movie with him, you have to assume that word got around that I don't like him, that I'm afraid of him, that I don't want to ever work with Justin again. So for you to say, while his co-owner of the studio, his co-producer says, this man is sweet and loving, she would have known that she would come across as a crazy person. Because even if he were to relay this conversation back to Justin and say, you know what, I had a wonderful conversation with Claire, and when I was telling her about your issue on the studio, she agreed with me that you're a sweet person, that you're very loving. And Justin would have said, like, what? But she banned me from the set, and she told me she doesn't want to promote the movie. Like, all these things were going through my mind thinking, I have to stay true to myself. At the very least, if I have this big problem with this man, and another man is telling me he's very sweet and very loving on set, I would keep my mouth shut. I wouldn't say yes or no. I wouldn't say no because I don't want to ruffle feathers. I don't want to say yes because that would be a huge contradiction to the dust up that I caused by saying, don't let this man near me again. So I would just shut my mouth. I wouldn't say anything. But she didn't stay silent. She said, yeah, meaning I agree with you. But then she asked, because she said to him at the beginning of the conversation, I haven't heard anything of what went on with It Ends With Us. I really haven't been following that.
I don't know if you're watching the media at all.
No, I have been. I don't know what's going on. No one's spoken to me about it. So I just know I don't know what happened on that set, but I know the media can turn really really bad and negative.
And in this instance, she asked him specifically, were things bad on set? Listen to her.
You were there. Was it bad?
No.
Oh, God.
Justin never has a bad set. Yes, it was the worst set he's ever been on, but no, it wasn't bad. Everything was made up. It was manufactured, and it was manufactured on purpose in order to take Justin down.
It sucks. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry because I know the intentions of making the movie were with such a purpose. I'm sorry to have this going on. I'm hoping
the good news is it didn't take Justin down.
No, I'm hoping it's winding down. Fingers crossed.
She goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Your abuser? Are you sorry that your abuser is being accused of abuse? Are you sorry? You are sorry that Justin Baldoni is being falsely accused. Is that your final answer, ma'am?" What was Blake thinking? Did she really think we were going to listen to this and be like, "Oh, wow, Blake was right"? This is contradicting everything Blake said about Justin. Claire, I meant to say Claire. This contradicts everything Claire said about Justin in her declaration. But then here Blake contradicts herself. I did it again. I meant Claire contradicts herself. You know what? I think Claire and Blake are starting to seem like the same person to me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. In the recording, because remember, she said, "I haven't heard anything about what happened over there. I haven't been following that controversy." But then she goes on to say, "Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing about people saying that Blake and Ryan bankrolled the movie." And I'm like, "Oh, that is not true."
There's all these things that, because Blake and Ryan paid for the movie. I'm like, really? Really? Send me a check.
Every time I've seen that, or some of the comments I see, or on the flip, they'll say that Blake sold her cut back to, and I was like, that's not how it works. You own the footage. Like, that's not how it, and people will say it so confidently. And they'll be like, yeah, because they bankrolled the movie. And I'm like, that's not how that's not how it works.
Right, but we just sit there quietly and
know.
let them think what they want. And
She's throwing Blake under the bus in the recording that she gave Blake, that Blake used to help prove her point. Does this make any sense to any of y'all? Who approved this? And then when we get to the meat and potato of the case, where Mr. Sorowitz made that incendiary statement that when he's done with Blake and Ryan, there's going to be 2 dead bodies, the same way that Israel obliterated Hamas. When you listen to the recording, he makes that statement, but he qualifies it. Listen to it for yourself.
Yeah.
there was a week that was long for me when we thought we were going to have to go into court.
Oh,
and
God.
I still don't know that we won't have to go into court.
Sure.
I just know that for right now, it seems like détente. And then if they persist and they push to the limits, then we'll go to court. And then it's all on me. Then I'll be working harder than Jamie did because
it's going to be protecting the studio, right?
I will protect the studio like Israel protected itself from Hamas. So there were 39,000 dead bodies. There will be 2 dead bodies when I'm done, minimum. And so not dead, but dead to you're dead to me.
You're dead to me.
So that kind of dead, but dead to a lot of people. If they ever get me to that point, then I'll make it worth their while because I'm going to spend a lot of money to make sure the studio is protected. But I don't think we'll go there.
Yeah, I hope not. As someone who
that's not the world I want to live in.
No. I hope it goes away. I just hope it goes away.
It was a metaphor. It wasn't a threat. He didn't threaten Blake and Ryan's lives. He makes it very clear. And this man didn't even know he was being recorded, but I'm so glad that he clarified, because we have it now on tape of him saying, I don't mean literal killing. I don't mean like dead. I mean dead to me. It's a metaphor. It's simile. It's when Blake said to Justin Baldoni, I am Khaleesi and Taylor Swift and my husband are my dragons and they stand with me. Should Justin have felt threatened by that? Like, oh my gosh, is Blake Lively gonna set me on fire? The way Khaleesi used her dragons to obliterate her enemies? Is she gonna douse me in gasoline and light a match and set me on fire? Is that why she used the imagery of the dragons? It was metaphor when Blake said it. It was metaphor when Steve said it. But we would have never known if she hadn't mentioned this tape and the court hadn't said, you need to release the tape. We need to know exactly what you're talking about. We need to hear the whole thing. And I'm glad that Steve and Justin and the Wayfarer team said, release the tape. Mention it all.
Mention it all, because you know what?
This is how people behave when they have nothing to hide. Now, according to some of the people online that I have been hearing their reporting on this, it was Blake Lively who put the recording together. She got the raw footage, the raw audio, and she put it together because it says prepared by BL Blake Lively. And it was, first of all, how do you submit something to the court where something that is considered evidence gets tampered by one of the players in the case? Is that even allowed? Has it been authenticated that it hasn't been messed with? But it seems to me now, listening to it, that it was messed with. Because listen to this little part here.
Jamie was stopping it. So Jamie was stopping the worst of the worst. There was a point where they were trying to slam the Baha'i faith. He got that done and out. So, basically...
Who was? Was it Sony or was it public? Yikes. That's icky.
When he says they've been insulting Baha'i, and she said, who did that? And then there's a blank space. Who did he say did it? If Blake Lively was the one who edited this recording, it has to be understood that if he named her as the person who did that, for her to edit out her own name because it makes her look bad. But the silence makes it glaringly obvious that the answer was blotted out. By whom? By the person who prepared the recording. I am sitting here in disbelief. I cannot believe that Blake Lively's team thought that this was a good idea, that this could somehow help them. I'm even questioning what Claire Ayub was thinking when she handed this recording to Blake Lively saying, here, this will help you. And I will write this declaration and it will help you in proving your case. When she contradicts herself in the recording from the statement, she contradicts herself inside the recording. She starts by saying, I've never heard anything. I'm not following the scandal. And then she goes on to say, oh yeah, I've been reading stuff on the scandal. And when I see this and that. My goodness, Ezra, I'm embarrassed for you, girl, and the rest of the team. Did y'all really think this was going to help you? And now Claire Ayub can be added to the growing list of individuals who worked with Justin Baldoni, who made it clear in one way or another that they had no problem with him. And after getting in touch with Blake Lively, they switched their opinion on Justin Baldoni. They went from, that was fine. I'm very thankful for your team. Yeah, I forgot to play this part. Play this part. Listen to this part where she talks about working with the team, meaning the production team, all the people who work at Wayfarer Studios. This is what she had to say to Steve about them.
What's up? She's awesome. Your whole team is I just want to say thank you. Like, everyone has been so wonderful to work with. And I'm a big believer when you see people doing great work to be like, you're doing great work.
Let's add Claire to the list of individuals who had no problem with Justin Baldoni. And upon talking to Blake Lively, their perception completely changed. Isabella Ferrer wrote this beautiful message to Justin, thanking him for the wonderful time that she had working on set, how she felt safe, she felt seen, she loved working with him. She sent him photos on the set that they took together, letting him know that they formed wonderful memories. And she went from that to Mr. Baldoni and his team are being so abusive with me, and I am afraid of them, and I don't feel comfortable. This guy, I forgot his name, the one who played Lily Bloom's real love interest, the childhood sweetheart. I forgot his name. I'm going to put it here. He had said that it was a wonderful set. Then he got close to Blake and Ryan. And next thing you know, he's writing statements of support for Blake Lively. Now we have Claire Ayub to add to that list of people who apparently had a good working relationship with Justin Baldoni, or at least the entire Wayfarer team that she dealt with. And after talking to Blake Lively, now her memories are completely corrupted, and she remembers that he was abusive and she kicked him off her set and she didn't want to promote the movie with him. What is it that happens when people sit down and talk to Blake Lively, or they get close to Blake and Ryan? What happens to their memories? And I remember I made this point when I did this video, I hope you check it out, where I'm comparing Blake Lively to Larry Ray, the man who had infiltrated a group of young people at Sarah Lawrence College, and he had started a kind of a mini cult among them. And I talked about the pattern that he had. He would take each one of the kids one by one and ask them about their childhood memories. And even if they had happy childhood memories and they were close to their parents, he slowly started to corrupt their memories of their parents and introducing false memories that confused them at first, but then convinced them that something terrible had happened in each and every one of their childhoods, to the point where it completely isolated them from their parents, and it made them be afraid of them and not wanting to be in the same room with them. And I talked about how I assume, and this is all my opinion, that Blake Lively has that kind of a perverse talent where she can take people who had happy memories of working with Justin Baldoni, and she slowly but surely started to corrupt their memories by confusing them at first, isolating them away from Justin and other people who may have had another pleasant experience with him, and slowly corrupted their memories until the point where they all were talking about, at least in the case of Isabella, that she was afraid of him, that when they were trying to serve her subpoena to sit down and do her deposition, which you would have expected under normal circumstances, that she was dodging and hiding. And she was talking about how she's being abused and stalked. I don't know what she told this young man, Brandon Sklenar, that's his name, who at first said good things about the set. And then next thing you know, he's on her side, he's supporting her. Her and Ryan are flying him on private jets to different premieres, and I think they went over to England to watch Ryan Reynolds' football team. I mean, it's a kind of a grooming. It's a grooming of come to my side. Look at all that I can share with you. Look at everything that I can bring to your life as an actor, as a director. I can take you to heights you've never seen before. Let's be friends. And then when she has them in her web, she just, I don't know, they just turn into people who are afraid of Justin. May God protect me from people like that, who have that perverse power to manipulate people to make you seem like a horrible person. It's like all these people go through a conveyor belt, and it's like before Blake and after Blake. Before Blake, oh, everything is fine. I had a wonderful time with your team. Oh my goodness, the set was wonderful. I had a good time. Oh my God, Justin, thank you so much. I felt so safe and so seen. And they go through this conveyor belt and they go through the filter of Blake Lively. And they come out on the other side saying, I banned him from my set because he was dangerous. He was abusive to me. Oh my gosh, I stand with Blake Lively. I stand with her. I believe her. Oh my goodness, Justin Baldoni is abusive. He's stalking me. It is really something that I never would have expected. I've talked about the fact that I used to love Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. They were one of my favorite Hollywood couples. And now I I'm terrified. Honestly, I'm terrified of these people. So yeah, I just wanted to share this with you. I wasn't planning on doing this video this week, but when the recording came out today and I heard it, I was like, oh my goodness, what is this? Really, Ezra? Really? Y'all have no case. It's time to drop the case. It's time to apologize, to say I'm sorry, to beg forgiveness from Justin and all his cohorts, and drop this, because if this goes to trial, this is going to be a very unfortunate circus for you guys. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Please leave a comment below. Did you listen to the recording? Are you as baffled as I am as to why Blake Lively and her legal team would think that this in any way, shape, or form helps them? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you would like to see me cover more topics on pop culture and what's happening in the news. Please share this video with others if you think it was interesting. While you're here, please watch other videos that I have done. I'm going to link some videos on this topic below. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.